Everyone, please take your seats. We are now on live video. Please silence your cell phones and our meeting will begin shortly. Welcome everyone to the October 22nd, 2024 City of Broussard Council meeting. Please remember to adjust your microphones and speak into them so you can be heard clearly on our broadcast. If anyone from the audience would like to make a comment on an item listed on the agenda, please fill out a blue card located in the back of the room and turn it into our city clerk. Each speaker will be given a maximum of 3 minutes. Please rise for the pledge.
States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please welcome Pastor Weldon Moak from First Baptist Church of Broussard.
Let's pray together. Our Heavenly Father, we gather here this evening, giving you honor and glory for the privilege of being here, and we honor you. And Father, I pray that you will pour your spirit of wisdom and insight and discernment upon each one of the council members and each one here in the audience here, that we will seek to do the best for this city, for our citizens, but also to honor you. And we also pray, Lord, as we're getting close to our elections, that we make wise choices, both locally, state, and nationwide, that we will bring the best people involved into these positions, and that you will bless our country and bless our nation. We give you the glory, and may your kingdom come and your will be done. In Jesus' name, amen.
Item 2.1, acceptance of the minutes of the October 7th, 2024 meeting. Do we have a motion to accept?
Second.
The minutes were supplied in the council's packet. Tina, do you have public comment?
No public comment.
So discussion?
Question.
District 1?
Yes.
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yay.
At large? Motion approved.
Item 3.1, approval of the September 2024 financial report. Do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
The high-level report on our financial report was that in September, we were 1% higher than our income from the previous year and 16% higher than the year before that. Our total collections are 4% over last year and 9% above 2022. Our September sales tax is 4% ahead of our monthly budget, and we have improved to 2% behind our yearly budget. Kristen, do you have anything to add to that?
Nope, you covered it all.
Public comment, Tina?
No public comment.
Council discussion?
District 2?
Yes.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yay.
At large?
Yay.
District 1?
Yes.
Motion approved.
I'd like to welcome Mr. Francis Touchette, Superintendent of Lafayette Parish School Board, for a report. Welcome, Francis.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, council members, members of the public. Again, as I promised last spring, I said to you, I would be coming to you and just giving you guys a report on the school system and what is going on in the Broussard area at the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, and at the end. So here I am. It's been a pretty interesting start of the school year. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot going on. I'm sure you have lots of questions about things, but I provided you with a one-pager. I know that you guys have taken a look at it, but again, I do this at every city council meeting throughout Lafayette Parish. You guys are the last that I've actually finished up with on the first round, so they got the exact same information. So the very first thing that you see is, as of September 25th, these were the student counts. Student counts means the number of kids that are in our school, and then to the right of it is the capacity. Following that, you will see that each of those different schools and the surrounding areas, the different projects that are actually completed, so that you have an idea of what is being done at all these different schools. The last thing that I really want to kind of talk to you about, and I have my board member, Mr. Jeremy Hidalgo, here, that will be able to answer any questions if he needs to as far as this process is concerned. Last spring, the board, with my guidance, hired a strategic planner to come in and take a look at the things that we were doing here in Lafayette Parish. I will say to you is that the same old has been being done for the last 40 plus years. And when it's all said and done, Lafayette Parish is less 1,300 kids. And if you are still operating in the same manner that you did before with 1,300 kids, and now you have 1,300 kids less, then you somewhat have to take a look. So we hired a strategic planner, a group that is from outside, which has been doing independent looking at our facilities, the different things going on with our membership, all of the different things as far as financial impacts of all these different schools. And this past 2 weeks ago, the board, along with myself and the public, got 14 different recommendations from this particular group. I want to urge all of you that, number one, don't take it as though these are the 14 things that are going to be done, but these are the initial things that were presented to the board. And the next steps will be, there will be opportunities for people to give feedback through a survey, but there will also be opportunities for face-to-face meetings on October 28th at Northside and also October 29th at Southside and Acadiana. So anyone in the public could go and wherever you live in those particular areas, go, and all 14 of those recommendations are going to be discussed, and people will have an opportunity to weigh in. I will tell you that lots of what is being discussed is due to loss of enrollment. You can see that from the numbers that you have right here in Broussard, there are numbers that are just not there. And I can't say to you, and I can't say to any community, that schools are safe. I will say that we have to have certain amount of kids, and we have to be able to staff those with the appropriate personnel, and it has to be cost effective. So what I will say to you is that there will be some recommendations that will be brought back to the board for the November 20th board meeting. I am pushing on CSG, and I want everyone to take note of this, is that a week before, on November 13th, that group will give us some final recommendations on, number one, when is this going to all take place? What is going to actually happen, and what is the cost, and what is the savings as far as that's concerned? So all of that is going to be something in which the board will consider as far as moving forward. I will tell you the reason why we're doing this in November is because whatever recommendation comes forward, my team has to have time to be able to implement some of this stuff. So if we have a school closure, or we have schools that are being reconfigured, there's lots of things that you have to consider as far as personnel, transportation, so on and so forth. So we have to know what the direction of the board is in November, and it's going to give me and my team time to move forward as far as that. Again, I will say that, here as the superintendent in Lafayette Parish, I take the notion that, one, we have to make sure that we use the taxpayers' dollars, and we need to be efficient, and we need to make sure that we're doing it to the best of our ability. I cannot stand here and say to you that we're just gonna just keep throwing money and keep doing different things like we've done 40 years ago. Things have to change, and I'm that person to be able to leave that. I don't have a problem making decisions, and I will continue, as long as this board wants to keep me in this position, to do that. But what I will say to you is that I am in those schools. I see exactly what is needed. I want to make sure that every kid in Lafayette Parish get what's needed as far as their education. And we're going to make sure that that is happening. And I just, again, at this time, want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I'll be able to field any questions that you guys may have in reference to these numbers, these projects, or anything in reference to CSG is concerned as far as the strategic plan.
Francis, just one question. Is redistricting of school districts also something that's on the table right now?
What we're going to basically look at is we're going to look at where, if we're going to, we call it offline. If a school is going to close, then by all means, you have to move lines and you have to do different things. For example, you see Como High School is on this list. Como High School is one of the schools that on the initial recommendation is to go offline. So some of those kids that are going from Broussard, they have to go somewhere.
Redistricting as a whole, is it that time
We will-
for you guys now to do this? Is it combined
We-
with this plan?
We will, at this particular time, use this plan to do spot rezoning
Spot rezoning.
so that we can kind of see how we're going to shift populations. And again, it comes down to is, look, we have 1,600 kids that are at Acadiana. We could put up to 2,000. Are we maximizing that campus? You can see that we have 1,800 kids at Southside, okay? You can see we're overpopulation. You're probably saying, how could you be overpopulated? We have to do some things different in this area. And that's something that me and Mr. Hidalgo are discussing. We're meeting about these different things and we're talking about what can we do to expand, because we have to go where the population is going. And we have to be able to do these things to be able to put our kids in these schools. And we can't just say to parents that we're not here. So there is a possibility that we will be building schools and we will be doing some different things, because we're very much aware of what's happening in our surrounding areas and the housings issues that we're seeing out there that we got to really accommodate for. And part of that is looking at this whole plan and making sure that we're freeing up money so that we can kind of strategically look where populations are and how we need to kind of drive where schools are going to go. Any other questions?
I do.
Yes, sir.
To share, I'm not guaranteed I'm gonna make any of these other meetings, but since you're here and you're asking, taking questions, what would you do with Como if you closed?
Well, first of all, the recommendation for Como is to repurpose it into a career center, making sure that we are bringing things to the center of that Lafayette area to where, from carpentry to HVAC to all of the different things that are now placed in an area where we're very much limited as far as space. I want to be able to draw and have a career center that is really going to be something that's going to be open up to everybody, because right now we're limited. We only have 400 kids between two sessions that go to the career center, where we have high schools that have 1,600. Lafayette High is going to have 2,200 kids there. All I'm saying is that we have to be able to look at a place where we can expand and we can really open it up to where every kid has an opportunity, if they want to go to the career center, to be able to get these different types of trades. So we're not going to let that school go. That school is not going anywhere. We have plans, if this actually goes through, to really make sure that we repurpose it and we rebrand it. And we're right there by Lord's, right there where everything is happening. We really can kind of draw businesses in and we can try to do some things to kind of help our kids to get ahead of life. In light of also the facility upgrades, looking at creating a middle school type of environment where there's an extra gym, there's an extra football field for middle schools to play on. Again, it's at the center where people can actually use that 5 days a week. So not trying to waste money. We're trying to make sure that we can utilize whatever is there if this actually goes through.
I've been contacted by a bunch of former students, athletes. They want their awards. If you close the school, they say they own them.
They own their what?
Their awards, trophies.
I'm sure that if something does happen, you can tell them to call central office and, we'll make arrangements. I mean, we still have a lot. We don't even know if this is gonna be something that's gonna be final. But it is on the table. It is something that is there. But I really want to urge all of you to pay close attention to those 14 recommendations because it will impact this community.
I'm planning on joining you next week for the meeting at Southside, so we want to definitely be in the conversation and be part of solutions.
And Mayor, believe it or not, I'm not going to be there because I don't want to be someone that is swaying those conversations and being a part of that. I think it's important that I stay independent, but I encourage each and every one of you to go there and voice your concerns and or your input about where we need to be. This is what it's all about. We need to not do what we've been doing 40 years ago. We have to relook at things, and you guys understand that being in government, and we just need to think differently, and we will, and these are not easy decisions.
Francis, who will be facilitating the meetings?
The Civic Solution Group, the independent group,
Okay.
that is going to be facilitating, and they'll be the same ones to take care of it at the other sites, so that they can be objective and they can, make sure that they are presenting all of the different proposals out there.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Item 4.2, Mr. Ben Terrio, update on condemnation of Thomas property. This is a report only.
Good evening. So just as a brief update, the last meeting, this is 308 East Monroe. Last meeting, the owner's daughter came. She had just gotten a quote to do the repairs. The council gave her 30 days to come back with a decision, either sell the house, provide documentation that she signed the contract, or, move forward with the demolition. I've reached out to the family for the past week and a half, including today. No response. They haven't returned a text message, answered a phone call. Just kind of.
Ben, is it accurate to say that at the last time that this item was on agenda was more than 30 days ago? I believe it was well over 30 days ago. The council basically gave an ultimatum. If you want to repair the house, you have to perform certain things, like get a contractor involved with a 30-day window attached to that ultimatum. And that window has closed. They have not fulfilled their part of it.
That is
You are the
correct.
city's agent in this. Okay, I just want to be clear with the council why this is a report only. It's already been a condemned property. This was kind of a final Hail Mary, but there hasn't been performance on the other end.
That's correct. There's been no movement on the other end. And I actually spoke to our demo company who have actually given us a quote for the demolition. They can be there the beginning of next week. So they'll be starting on the 28th, 29th. That is in Heather's, Councilwoman Gerard's district.
So Heather, as of now, the city's planning to move forward, but your opinion is valuable. If you'd like to agree with that or maybe suggest another direction.
No, I agree with what Ben's, proposing we do. Is the house salvable? Oh, gosh. Thank you. Can it be saved? Does it have to be torn down?
So the building official's recommendation said to bring up to current standards or condemn and demolish. So essentially his statement is saying, if you're willing to put the money in, it could be saved. I think that the property owner said they got a quote and it was something like $50,000 or something to do the repairs. That's not counting. I know that there's a water leak, so I don't know how much they actually looked into it. The house is still full of items. So we have that as well.
I was good with it 30 days ago when we gave her the 30 days, so we can move forward, in my opinion.
Ben, thank you for the report. I've got my direction from the council. Item 4.3, Crew the Acadian Health Fair announcement. Mr. Charles Sharma, welcome, Charles.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This year will be our second year putting together our health fair. Wanted to highlight a couple of points in regards to it. This year last year we had 13 vendors. This year we jumped up to 30 vendors, including federal, state, and local participants. Some of the training and services that we're going to offer this year, we're going to have CPR training, stop the bleeding training, car seat safety checks by Broussard PD. Thank you very much. Vitalin blood donation will be out there taking blood donations. We'll have blood pressure checks, vision screening, and glucose testing. In addition to the glucose testing, we're going to have some grad students from Northwestern State University. They'll be out there showing their study in regards to diabetes and in relation to Alzheimer's. They think they have some sort of, straight line that could connect it. So they'll be out there talking about that, making the public aware of that. Some of the highlights that we're doing, I wanted to point out, we have 13 of the 30 vendors are either Broussard owned or Broussard businesses. So we have a nice group of individuals from Broussard that are taking part of this. The USDA Rural Development, they're responsible for some of the housing programs like low income and free housing. They'll be out there. Acadiana Legal Services will also be out over there. The Louisiana Department of Health, they'll be out there discussing chronic disease prevention and healthcare options through the state. This year, same as last year, I want to thank the Broussard Police Department and the Fire Department for taking part. In addition, Mr. Abshire with the Parks Department is also going to take part. And how is that in relation to healthcare? It's allowing individuals in the community to be aware of some of the programs that are offered through the city. We're also going to have an interactive kids corner, face painting, pumpkin decorations, arts and crafts. We had a nice donation from Home Depot with some nice little do-it-yourself arts and crafts kits. We'll have a little bit of live music. Starbucks has been very generous, and they're going to donate coffee for the event as well. I invited two of the participants to come speak a little bit about their participation into the health fair. First off, we'll have Miss Crystal Hancock with adult primary care, and then following her, we'll have Miss Danielle Poirier with Vitalin Blood Services.
Good evening. Thank you. I'm Crystal Hancock. I'm a family nurse practitioner, board certified. I do primary care in North Lafayette. I am a resident of Broussard, so I am going to be doing blood pressure screenings at the health fair, and this is allowing people an avenue to meet a provider per se and establish care with, providing them with resources if they need it, and screening if they don't realize they have high blood pressure. It provides them a easy way to get established.
Good evening. I'm Daniela Poirier. I'm with Vitalin, formerly United Blood Services. My responsibility is to go out into the community and partner with organizations, churches, schools, any special events such as the health fair. We will be out again. We were last year at the event, so we'll be out in the Bloodmobile. Please come help save some lives. You all guys come. You all come, and if you can't come due to health reasons or you're busy, please recruit someone to come because our local hospitals need everyone to come and donate. Thank you.
The entire event is free to the public, and it's sponsored completely by Crew the Acadian. So once again, thank you all so much for allowing me to speak over here, and we hope we can see some of y'all out there. Thank you.
Item 4.4, Mr. Drake Olivier, variance request for front setbacks for 6 lots in Phase 2 of Ambassador Commons subdivision. Bailey, you taking this one?
Yes, sir.
With DDG Engineering.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bailey Bazeron with DDG and representing the BO companies and Mr. Stephen Abear. So as you can see, the exhibit up here, really what we're requesting is a waiver to reduce the front setback requirements on the T turnaround lots, which is essentially 6 lots at each of the 3 turnarounds on the Phase 2 of the Ambassador Commons project. So with that being said, the waiver that we are looking for is to reduce the lot front setback from 20 feet to 15 feet for these 6 lots, and it would really help with neighborhood, making it more uniform in appearance and allow more buildable space for the end users and building prototypes. And as you can see, it's hard to see right here, but on these corner lots, they have a 20-foot section that's even with all the other lots that's not being used, and it's an extra additional 20 foot behind that. So essentially in the corner, it's 40 foot. So this would basically put it 35 foot from the front and just keep a more uniform look throughout.
Walter, you have a comment?
We have no issue with this, and Bailey, you might want to pass this along. If y'all would have requested this during planning, the planning commission at the time of preliminary plat can grant setback waivers. So
Okay.
In the future, if you want to skip this step, ask at that point.
Yep, sure will. Thank you, Walter.
Tina, is there any other public comment?
Comment, but I need a vote.
Yes. Any council discussion?
Yes. If we grant this and they put, so the driveway to the house, is that gonna be in the T? In the turnaround?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
The driveway to the house, is that
Yes.
going to be in that T at the end?
Yes.
So that gives them less driveway. So that puts a truck of a pretty good size probably in the road, huh?
No, it should not be in the road.
Okay.
So the turnaround, right? To give room to turn around.
Right, to give the vehicles room to turn around at the end lots.
Sure, and it has to be adequate for a school bus, fire truck, those kinds
That's
of things.
right. So all that was ran and performed to make sure that it wasn't. And with the setbacks too, we ran it with the 15-foot buffer, and it should not affect anything.
How long is the driveway? From the garage door to the road?
Can I say something real quick, please? If y'all want to be a little bit more specific, because they didn't come here prepared with layouts for each lot. Maybe just amend it, granting the front setback. The front setback, I think you could do it without messing them up. Making it such that granting them the front setback waiver, provided that the individual houses put on the lots do not obstruct the turnaround. Well, it don't obstruct it. I mean, essentially, if they can get the vehicle out of the turnaround, then they're good. But, does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
That kind of helps them out a little bit. It is not uncommon, T-type turnarounds are not as common here, they're becoming more, but it's very common on cul-de-sac lots for builders to ask for a setback variance on cul-de-sac lot. That's very common. So kind of sort of the same thing, but I think if you grant the waiver, provided that a parked vehicle will not block the turnaround, I think they're good. That's my opinion.
Just don't want there to be a safety issue trying to turn a fire truck.
Absolutely.
Second.
Question.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yay.
at large, District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
motion approved.
Thank you, Bailey. Item 4.5, Mr. Stewart, Bro, St. Julian Development Sewer Betterment and his team. This is a report only. There's action later on the agenda for the council to either fund or not fund the betterment. Welcome, Stewart.
Thank you very much for having us. My name is Stuart Bro. I'm here appearing on behalf of RR Company of America, which is the owner of about 45 acres of land on the 7700 block of Ambassador Caffrey. We've been to this council a couple of times on this development, and as we've explained, we intend to develop that for a variety of uses, the frontage being commercial property with single-family residential behind it, and also a multifamily component as well. As we've worked through the process with the city and discussing our sewer needs and also the sewer needs that the city has for that area, which is primed for the explosive growth, we have discussed a betterment agreement or a cooperative endeavor agreement where we would put in our sewer infrastructure, also install additional sewer infrastructure that it is deemed good for the city for future development at the city's cost. And we went through several scenarios with the engineering team, and I think we've settled on the one that is shown here. And I have, if what's seen there is hard to read, I printed out some copies that I can share with y'all as to the specific scenario that was agreed upon. I have Chad Rousseau here, our engineer, can go into much more detail than I can, as well as Cooper O'Brien, the project manager. But that's essentially what we're here for. We're happy to answer any questions that y'all have.
I'm gonna just frame it where I think it made sense to me. Your development has to install sewer, and it's your responsibility to get that sewer to our closest lift station, which is on St. Etienne. So it's quite a ways down Ambassador Caffrey. You're handling that at your expense, no argument, you've agreed to that. But in doing so, the city sees an opportunity where we can participate to make your lift station bigger, to make the pumps bigger, to make the force main bigger, and allow other developments, and in fact, install a force main at the entrance of your development, which would allow the next developments that come down in that same area to be able to hook up and have sewer. If we don't do this, your sewer will only be adequate for your development, so the next development that comes would need to solve the problem on their own. Is that pretty accurate, Walter?
Yeah,
Mel?
except, little slight misstatement. They're gonna run a deep gravity line to Albert. A force main is a pressure line. This, for the money, we did something very similar with Albertson's Villas. We kind of did it in reverse, where the developer paid us and we built the lift station. In this case, he's gonna build it and we're gonna pay it. And we're just getting a beefed up, way more than what they need. But, this would allow us the opportunity to expand gravity sewer all the way to Morgan Street. It gives us enough depth, and the only two issues that aren't specifically mentioned in here is that Chad talks about upgrading pumps, and we discussed this before the meeting. We don't know what how big an upgrade. There's a limit, an engineering limit we can do. So that's going to be something we're going to work out. And then the other thing I told him that was very important to us, and I think Mel will agree, we definitely want a generator plug and switch so that when power goes down, we can operate the lift station. So I think everybody's holding hands on this.
Yeah, the exhibit you have shown, again, it's kind of just arbitrary. We took it as our commercial has this much sewage. So as we get up and down Ambassador, we just kind of carried that number that every acre can take. It'll have this much sewage. So, with meeting with Mel and them, they had a goal on the extents of it. So we just used it to accumulate a number of, okay, it's going to take this much pump. Again, we're trying to get the most bang for the buck that we can out the lift station, as far as capacity. But that's just kind of how the numbers came about.
Right, the gravity sewer, we'll have an extension both north and south. So
Correct.
as many lots as possible, that'll pick
Correct.
up that line, that'll be in the ground, which keeps us from, whenever the next development comes,
Lift
tearing
station
it
after
up
lift
in
station
front
after
of your
lift station.
development to try to add a sewer. And of course, we expect a significant cost savings over, us trying to install sewer as only a city project.
Well, I mean, these big lift stations generally cost about $750,000, and we're getting a regional lift station for $250. That's really the math here. So, not a bad deal for the city.
Yes, and also remember, when another development comes, there is an impact fee that they pay to tie into this. So essentially, we're paying for it up front, and, there's a chance to recoup our money going forward.
There's no action to be taken on this item, but does the council have any further questions? Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And we appreciate the investment in Broussard. Resolutions, item 5.1, resolution number 814-24, a resolution declaring the Garber Road Outfall Channel Maintenance Project as being substantially complete. Do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Daniel Hutchinson with Como Engineering can give us a report on this item.
Good afternoon. This is the bridge replacement and replacement and channel improvements on Garber Road. The contractor has finished it. We performed a final inspection on October 8th. Since then, the contractor has addressed all the items on the punch list. He's actually complete with everything, and it's good to go.
It looks great. I went and took a look at it last week. Very impressive. Way better than the old bridge on toothpicks that we had before.
The old bridge was a house of horror. It was falling apart.
Tina, do we have public comment?
No public comment.
Council discussion?
Question.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yay.
at large. District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
motion approved.
Thank you, Daniel. Ordinances for introduction. Item 6.1, ordinance number 24-814, an ordinance approving a cooperative endeavor agreement with R.R. Company of America LLC for sewer betterment along Ambassador Caffrey, north to Morgan Avenue and south to St. Etienne Road, and amending the 2024-2025 operating budget of revenues and expenditures for up to $250,000 for said project. Do we have a motion to introduce?
Motion.
That was the item that Mr. Stewart and his team just reported on. Tina, do you have public comment?
No public comment.
Council discussion?
Question.
District 5,
Yes.
District 6,
Yay.
at large. District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
motion approved.
Thank you, gentlemen. Ordinances for adoption. Item 7.1, ordinance number 24-812, an ordinance amending the 2024-2025 operating budget of revenues and expenditures for the fire department for payroll and capital outlay equipment. Do we have a motion to adopt?
Second.
Deputy Chief Denies gave a pretty extensive report on this last meeting. I think we have a couple of pictures of the equipment that he's referring to, and also this gets us into some 24-hour staffing at a second location in Broussard. Tina, do you have public comment?
No public comment.
Council discussion?
Question.
District 6,
Yay.
at large. District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
District 4,
Yes.
District 5,
Yes.
motion approved.
Item 7.2, ordinance number 24-813, an ordinance amending the 2024-2025 operating budget of revenue and expenditures for capital outlay improvements near Omega West Loadmaster Drainage Canal with Trident of Lafayette LLC. Do we have a motion to adopt?
Second.
Again, this item was reported on at the last meeting. Tina, do you have public comment?
No public comment.
Council discussion?
Question.
At large? District one?
Yes.
District two?
Yes.
District three?
Yes.
District four?
Yes.
District five?
Yes.
District six?
Yay.
Motion approved.
That was the last item listed on our agenda. I'd like to give a reminder that Coffee and Broussard is this Friday, coming up at Tons Restaurant, 7 a.m. till 8:30. Please join if you can. Thank you, everyone, for being at the meeting. Please drive safely.